forces of the world unite. It's time to roar, to fight the fight against the puppet masters pulling strings. We'll strip away the power, hear our piercing screams. We won't be silenced anymore. Break free from the chains that they adore. Stand tall, unrigging the game we rise. We'll win reality from their lies. Unrig the game, unleash the fury. No longer slaves to their corrupt machinery. Say his name and he appears.
This is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Greetings and welcome to Unread the Game. How's everybody doing out there this evening? Hope you're all doing and living well. Let me start off the show as always by thanking all those amazing people in the Winner's Circle who make it happen. Thank each and every one of you for being part of the solution, and big thanks to Shelly and Wolfram, who also support us over on Rumble as well. We are broadcasting live tonight, as always, on Rumble, X, and YouTube, and away we go. This is the kickoff show, by the way. If you're tuning in or rewatching, the way we do it here is we spend some time here talking, and then we leave YouTube and stay on Rumble and X for the reading. If you're here to catch the reading of the book and you want to skip ahead, go ahead about 45 minutes to an hour, and you will find the book on the screen, and that's when the reading commences. And for the most part, I let the reading go. I don't interrupt it, so you can enjoy it thoroughly and absorb the information. And that's the way we do it. But now we're at the kickoff show, so let's say hello to this awesome crowd that's out here this evening. Guys, how's it going? I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. It's great to be back. Heidi, how you doing? Thanks for being here and on Rumble as well. And there is Wolfram. Wolfram, how's it going, my friend? Thank you for dropping these links. And remember, when you're here to always listen to the Wolf, he knows what he's talking about. He wipes his paws, he loops in, and that's how you know the Alpha Mod is in the house. All right, guys, we got Shelly talking trash and truth. There she is with her newly saturated and highly visible avatar. As you can see, she stands out like the shining light she is. All right, and there she is over on Rumble saying hello to everybody as well. And right off the bat, without a moment of hesitation, we have this for you.
It's cold! A big warm knobs, it has to do. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing. It's cold! I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. Gonna try to get out of anything.
Thank you, Shelly, for gifting 10 memberships to the Winner's Circle. Thank you so much. And I tell you what, because I totally forgot to turn this on earlier. Let me go ahead and get into my YouTube. There we go. Let's get dashboard here so I can say hello to all of the people who got those awesome gifted memberships. Libby, just Don. All right, we got a couples gifted memberships going out. Evelyn Cox, HT. I haven't seen HT in a minute, man. HT, how you doing? Suzanne getting her gifted membership. Look at that. Charles LePage, also known as Charles at Comic List. Paige M. RB, well, I bet you RB will be here in a little bit. KZ and Captain Kearns. Look at that. 10 new gifted memberships. Guys, make sure you thank Shelly for those awesome memberships. She is good like that. And just to make sure we get the show started right, she's gone ahead and done this as well. Thank you for the super chat, $10 super chat. Let's start the shortest month off right. It is the shortest month, isn't it? Good point. Good point. So wow, this month will fly by. So we got to do lots of work in a little month. That's what we do. And tonight we'll be continuing our reading of Government Gangsters by Kash Patel, part 4, the Department of Defense, chapters 14 and 15. Next week will be chapter 16 and into part 5. And then we are really running down to the end of this book fast. It wasn't as long as some of our other books we've had. So we're going to be through this one pretty dang quick, probably for the end of the month. So we'll be probably starting a new book next month, and we have to get down to talking about what our next book's going to be very shortly. So expect that talk to be happening soon, if not before next week. Count on it. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. And thank you again for all that wonderful love there at the beginning of the show, Shelly. Hey, what's up, Suzanne? How you doing? Speaking of Suzanne, speaking of Canada, you guys see all the North American action going on today? In both cases, we had a quick exchange between ourselves, Mexico, and Canada regarding border security and regarding the executive order recently put out by Trump saying that tariffs will be levied against Canada and Mexico if they do not get on board with safe borders and doing the best they can do at their borders to stop people from coming through their countries into our country. At least we could ask, right? I mean, that's the least we can ask. Well, they pushed back and said, well, we're going to give you counter tariffs. And we were like, go ahead and try. Go ahead and try. I think we got pretty much everything we need here. Minus avocados, which I guess we can live without. That would be fine. We got plenty of beer. Don't let Chuck Schumer fool you into believing all beer comes from Mexico, because that is not the case at all. Canada and whatnot. However, follow-up subsequent conversations went down today, and a 30-day pause has been put on both of those tariffs to both those countries, the tariffs to both those countries, in lieu of a negotiation they both decided would be fruitful to have with President Trump today, in which they decided to get on board with our border policy and stop people from using their borders to invade our countries. Sounds reasonable, doesn't it? That's all we're asking. That, and to treat us fairly. And if you do that, we'll have a beautiful relationship. In fact, like I said many times, Mexico will highly benefit from this relationship if they get on board, because we will help restore greatness in their country as well by getting rid of those nasty, nasty drug cartels that run everything there, even though they may feel like they don't. Sorry to let you know, in case you didn't already, they absolutely do. And you will be a much better country when we get rid of those drug cartels for you. Trust us on that. I think you know that. I think the only people that are going to have resistance to that are people that are living in fear, are part of or compliant with or in cahoots with the drug cartels. So that'll be a telling story as well. Another big announcement today was you think you could cut full our heat and electricity? Okay. Yeah. But we're gonna work together, because we know you guys know as well as I do Trudeau's corrupt, and that Canada has been run into the ground by the government there. So we're gonna get things right, and we'll help you guys out, because we love Canada and we love Mexico too. And it's not the people's fault that their governments are corrupt and in bed with the nasty ideologies of Marxism. But we'll help out. We will help out. But yeah, Canada had a big, huge turnaround today. They're going to put drones and military on the borders. They're going to do all kinds of things. They're going to appoint a fentanyl czar. They're going to get on board. And Trudeau came out and said, I had a wonderful conversation with President Trump. Yeah, I bet. What you don't want is our terrorists. But that's fine because honestly, it never should have been a conversation in the first place. We should all be protecting our borders. We shouldn't be part of this crazy idea that open borders is a good idea. Um, but also, in case you didn't hear, a major thing went down. I'll talk about it more tomorrow night on winning 2020. So I'm winning tonight. But Doge is already kicking butt, and they have shut down a very troublesome and very questionable department called the USAID. Now, don't be confused by the name because there's no aid in USAID. It's all about basically it's all about foreign entanglements. So we will be talking more about that tomorrow night, along with a breakdown of how great that's going to be, and some of the stuff that's coming out of there is massive money laundering operations going on in our government, and taking our tax money and basically using it to fund the Democratic Party, Democratic candidates, and do devious things. So it was a very nasty little department, and it is going away. It's going bye-bye, and we're going to save lots of money, and we're going to stop lots of subversion by getting rid of it. Let's just yes, we have supplied a couple of states. That's always been Canada's ticket, but this is also the only way to get to our hope. Yeah, let's get him out. We're going to work together and get rid of that guy. Make Canada great again. Our new guy will work great with Trump. Most of Canada loves Trump. Yeah, I hope so. And I hope your new guy gets in. Is that a done deal, or is that we're still waiting to see that happen. Other good news going on today. Shelly, what was it you were telling me just a minute ago? About what phone lines shut down? Some server crashed today. Some phone operations crashed. The overwhelming amount of phone calls coming in in support of Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. RFK Jr.'s nomination, which will be coming up, I think, what's today? Soon. Tomorrow, I believe, they're going to be voting on RFK Jr. If I saw that right. So they are crashing the phone lines, which is funny because earlier today I was out on another social network for my day job, and I ran across this weaselly little punk, the Senate phone lines. Hey, Andre, how you doing? T-Rex trucking and more. No later than October this year are MP elections in Canada. Thank you for that. T-Rex swinging in on a chandelier. Now you can say hello to everybody. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the phone lines are shut down. But I saw this wheezy little guy out there, really young dude, completely subverted from college by wokeism and just a Weasley little punk that I'd worked with in the past, and crying about Trump in a very inappropriate place. This network is about business and people that are in technology, and there he is whining and crying about Trump, and saying, "Call your senators." And demand RFK Jr. not get nominated. People need their vaccines. They need their vaccines because it's dangerous and it doesn't discriminate. You're sitting there with this little rainbow flag. And this is a guy supposedly straight. I don't know. I always had questions about that personally. But he's a weasel little punk. And hearing the phone lines are crashing in the other direction. Makes me glad, and makes me happy. And of course I have to resist replying to people like that outside of this world here. This is where I do it, and it's very inappropriate to be in a business on a business platform whining and crying about politics. I think it's very telling, and I think that if you see anybody doing that, that's definitely someone you don't want to hire, and you don't want in your company, because they will do nothing but cause trouble and be a whiny little bitch. So no. We don't want that. We don't want that. There he is, T-Rex. How's it going, T-Rex? Where are you trucking tonight, my friend? Where are you trucking tonight? Marcel Poliveri. I have to say it in Italian because it's Kelly posted it. Poliveri. I don't know if that's right or not. Is the conservative Canadian candidate for prime minister. He is buds with Jordan Peterson. I like him. Kenosha. Try not to get into any gunfights out there in Kenosha, Wisconsin. You can stop by and say hello to your to Kyle. What's his name? Is that his name? While you're out there. Poliveri. Yeah, I think I'm saying it right. Poliveri has been a thorn in Trudeau's side for years. Yeah, I caught a little bit of a press conference by him recently. Seems like a pretty base dude, and I look forward to Canada getting a fresh start with some good ideas and some good ideas and some great leadership. Let's do that. Let's do that, Canada. That's your new slogan. Let's do this, Canada. Let's change things around. Let's go that way. Let's go this way. Looking over here for some do I have any upfront content today? I don't know that I do. I might just sit here and talk for a while. But yeah, that's the big news of the day. Of course, I run down more of those kind of topics on Winning Tonight, which will be tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right. No big news on the so just talk about some of the stuff we cover here during the week, but no big news on the UFO drone rogue corporate military alien technology front that we're degrifting on a weekly basis here. But they are coping with the news that they didn't hear what they wanted to hear or they have been led to believe. But in terms of the New Jersey drones, that'll be fun to look at. Dr. Stephen Greer has not done a podcast. I'm sure he'll get one out soon. I'm wondering if this is going to start to fizzle here. I feel a fizzle coming. I'm going to ride this thing out to the fizzle happens, and then we'll put it on the shelf and we'll move on to something else. But I mean, I guess does it ever fizzle? There are some other conspiracy grifters out there running the UFO alien scam on people. There's a guy that keeps on popping up on Rogan. That keeps I've just been looking at these two main narratives that are coming out and that are colliding, because that's really what's interesting. I mean, there's always people out there trying to grift. But they get their attention, and they get lots of money for it. They get lots of money and attention for it. Disinformation, grifting, that's very popular. Drama is very popular. But root cause reality-based truth is not there yet in terms of popularity, but it will be one day. One day people will be like, you know what? I just want to go to a place where I can get the absolute truth. I'm tired of these people speculating and asking me to take things on faith and coming up with BS that they think that I'm stupid and I'll buy into. One day, I think will be the more popular flavor of content, but it'll take time. It'll take some time. Polybeer is how it's said. Polybeer. Polyair, depending on your accent. Okay, let's have a discussion about how to pronounce his name. Let's see, Andre Diet, how you doing out there, guys? I got time for direct personal conversations with everybody, so feel free to jump on in and have a personal conversation with me. Polyev. Now I'm hearing Polyev. Polyair. Polybeer. Polyev. Now I got 3 pronunciations. You guys want to go for 4? You want to go for 4? What else we got? Well, probably gonna kick Trudeau out of ass. That's kick Trudeau out of office. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. And all kinds of cool stuff going on at the border. In case you don't know about that, we did talk a little bit about the border, but let's talk more about it. Oh my God, Polyev. Now, who wants this? Who's right? Suzanne, T-Rex, or Shelly? How do you say it? Someone helped us. We can spend an hour on this actually, I think. See, did you see that all the left people stopping traffic during rush hour in a major US? Yep, that will major. They're doing it in California and Washington, of course. They're out there stopping traffic and being well, did you look closely? Did you look closely at the crowd that was out there? And we're a very sophisticated scene here. Because sophisticated people in here, right? And we know banners and the banners they fly tell us who they are. And so yeah, I saw a lot of the queer Marxist socialists out there with their little banners and flags and stuff. They're agitating this scene. And basically, I think they're walking people into buses to be to be deported. So, although they haven't taken those kind of actions, as far as I know, no arrests have happened. But let's see, I had something here. But man, the work going on at the border is really awesome. The military is down there. They are helping out. They are getting that wall completed and fortified, and they are making sure that no more people crossing. In fact, border crossing has dropped tremendously at this point. Tremendously. And what do you know? All you had to do is implement a solution to get it to happen. Of course, when you have people that aren't into solutions but creating issues, things like that will get very, very badly out of hand. And let me here we go. Let's talk a little bit about this since this is the news of the day. And right in there with cute winter boots is coming. Really? That whole thing with their little code that isn't code. Good. Let them try it. Stop with the boots thing. The coding crap. But let's dive into a report base take here, and let's talk about both the things, the traffic stoppage and the border at the same time. What do you say? Let's do it, huh? All right.
Hit the streets in Los Angeles to protest the Trump 2.0 administration rounding up and arresting their favorite drug dealers and what will ultimately be millions of other criminals, most of them waving foreign flags and breaking the law, interrupting the flow of traffic on major streets, including the historic Highway 101. Aside from waving flags and showing allegiance.
I mean, you see this person right here? Hold on. You see this person right here pouring lighter fluid on the American flag right there? All right. It's pretty white. But yeah, there they are. This looks like your typical free Palestine person here in the crowd. But now they're going to take on the new oppressed class. In their opinion, see, they're not really oppressed, but they are. They're going to be put in that position so that they can have a reason to protest capitalism in general. And that's what they do. And that's where you're going to see a lot of these numbers come out from. And then people are going to join in as useful idiots to this cause here and expose themselves as being illegal and expedite their process of being deported.
Agents to their homelands. They also burned our flag, showing the disdain that they have for the
Look at that little spoiled brat right there.
That they invaded and are
Look at that little spoiled brat.
Occupying. So far, as of late Sunday night, I haven't seen a single report about a single arrest. And there are rumors that the Los Angeles mayor ordered a stand-down order. And there are clips of police packing up their
a lot of college, a lot of young people out
gear
there.
And just leaving. A similar scene in Seattle's Alki Beach, where you can see the criminal invaders are proudly waving the flag that they hope to hoist over the White House if they are able to conquer our land. But thankfully, we have President Trump back in office. And
here we go. Look at this.
Some of the soldiers who are headed to the southern border in order to prevent more of the criminal
armed
invaders
up and
from
ready for action.
entering our land. And while we have been invaded, at least we finally have a president back in the Oval Office who is treating this as an invasion. And these are more scenes from the U.S.-Mexico border.
Nacho
of soldiers
Kitty
deploying in order to prevent any more of the criminals going
Good evening.
This is a view from
How you
the
doing,
Mexican
Nacho?
side of the border, looking over the Rio Grande, showing our soldiers standing there to make sure that not an inch of the area is overlooked. Contrast that with what the Biden administration did, ordering the Border Patrol and other federal agents to remove the barbed wire fence that the state of Texas had put in place in order to try to stop their state and our
Look,
country.
that bar
from being
came back. The bar came back at the bottom. What the hell? StreamYards, man.
invaded.
I'll be back. You can't keep the Democrats out of the White House forever. And when
It
they get
disappeared
in,
so long I
I'm
forgot
back on
about
the
it.
streets with all my criminal buddies.
Here's Bill Maher, whose HBO show is simulcast on CNN on Friday
How
nights,
about that?
trying to get through to the morons who happen to be tuning in over there.
Here's a graph that shows immigration under Bush and then Obama and then Trump first term, pretty much the same. Then we get to Biden. Well, Democrats can say they weren't for open borders, but it sure looks like someone left the gate unlocked.
Ooh, own.
And speaking of Mexico, President Trump placed a 25% tariff on all goods being imported from Mexico, as well as Canada, and a 10% tariff on goods being imported from China. And here is Chuck Schumer being upset about it.
Let's just take Super Bowl Sunday, okay?
Like Chuck's like would turn into like a prop comic.
It's going to affect beer,
He's like a prop comic now. He thinks he's Gallagher or something.
okay? Most of it, Corona here, comes from Mexico.
Most of our beer is Corona and it comes from Mexico. So how about that? Of course, I'd never drink that swirl. Never, ever, ever. I haven't drank that swirl since I didn't know how to drink a good beer, you know?
Most beer comes from Mexico. I'm sorry. We have a whole city right here in America that's dedicated to brewing beer. It's called Milwaukee. They don't call the city's baseball team the Brewers for nothing. Not to mention,
oh my God, I just jinxed with Mark Dice. Not to mention the fact there's microbrews everywhere.
and countless microbrews and other major brewing
I didn't even know he was going to say that. That's weird.
manufacturers throughout the entire United States.
It's going to affect your guac, because what is
Oh
guac?
no, you're guacking your Mexican beer, guys. Oh no. You know, Americans live on guacking Mexican beer. Corona is most of our beer. Go drunk. Schumer, you're home. I mean, come on. Pale beer. Pale beer. Nacho Kitty's getting in on the action here. Pale beer. Pale beer. Probably gonna kick Trudeau out of office. That's what he's gonna do.
Guacamole made of avocados, both from Mexico.
Well, guess what, Chuck? People will just have to use cheese dip instead, which they can also get from Wisconsin. And
Cheese. You had to use cheese dip. Have a nice blue crab dip from Baltimore, Maryland, or from Maryland, or from the beautiful Northeast coast there with beautiful blue crabs. Man, that's so much better. Plus, we'll be just fine without avocados. I don't think anybody will miss it except for people in California.
as we continue to try to make America sane again, all federal employees have been told that they need to remove their pronouns from their email signatures
Hell yeah. Thank God, get rid of those things. It's so stupid.
as Donald Trump's plan to eradicate DEI continues. Those
Well,
are
it's
the little
gonna-
bottom
it's gonna
sections on
happen.
emails where people
Sorry.
put their title and their
Sorry,
contact
Soy.
information, their phone number,
Sorry,
etc.
Soy
And a
boys.
lot of the woke-tards add their preferred pronouns. So now those are gone. We've
Never
made
again.
wokeness so toxic that even Pete Buttigieg has removed his preferred pronouns from his Twitter bio. Everybody
Ah.
knows by now, anybody who has their pronouns in their Twitter bio or in their LinkedIn bio or anywhere is unstable.
Yes.
And really should be committed to a psychiatric hospital. And
These are
so
true
Pete Buttigieg
things.
trying to restore some normalcy to the Democrat Party and changed his Twitter header as well. And this photograph was taken at the
Effervescent.
FBI headquarters in Quantico, showing that the ridiculous DEI mural there
Look
is
at that. Look at that. Can you believe that someone paid to have all these things put on the wall? I mean, tell me you're trying to brainwash people without telling me you're trying to brainwash people by putting subliminal messages, which are they're overt subliminals. These are overt subliminals where you're just bombarding people with words that are without their control going under their subconscious and being imprinted there. This is the way people exploit the human brain OS all the time. And when you're awake, aware, and resisting it, it's not as effective, but it still hits you. It just hits you differently. So like when we see something like this on the wall, we automatically know what to associate it with, but other people will see this and actually take it for what it is, as in this is the world we're living in now. And this is what they need to adapt to. This is the things that they should be important to them. When we see it as a personal attack. That's the evolution. That's how you put up barriers against mind control right there. As you reframe you see what it actually is and what it's actually trying to do, and you reframe it and you create a shield for a mental antivirus to fight that type of abuse, that type of information-based abuse. Yes, Hefeweizen. I've never been a big Hefeweizen fan. I know a lot of people dig it. No, I like a good porter though. But like a Guinness, right? That kind of porter. But I'm really more like I'm really like not really that down with those two kind of beers that much. But I will enjoy a nice Guinness. Guinness is a good beer. It's a really good beer. But I tend to like Two Hearted Ale, like the IPAs,
Being painted.
good IPAs.
Of course, the they
crap
thems are
IPAs.
crying about all this on TikTok.
They them's
Hi, my name
non-binary.
is Karen, and my pronouns are they, them, and I'm a licensed psychotherapist in the states of Colorado and Washington.
Licensed psycho? What? So psycho, licensed psycho.
Wait. You are the psychotherapist, or you need a
Need one.
Hi, my name is Karen, and my pronouns are they, them,
Karen,
and I'm a
of
licensed
course you are.
psychotherapist in the states of Colorado and Washington.
Okay, we don't care. We've heard way too much from you people and about you people over the last 4 years. So goodbye. Donald Trump is also doing his
We're
best
not your
to
welcome.
clean up the FBI,
Welcome.
the Federal Bureau
you had
of
one.
Instigation.
It can only be described as the start of a massive, much larger than expected purge at the FBI
Yes.
of FBI agents and officials. Many of them, in one way or another, touch the investigations into Donald Trump. Sources telling NBC News this: the Office of Acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove asked the FBI for a list of Bureau employees involved in January 6 cases, sparking panic inside the Bureau. By people who fear retribution by the Trump administration amidst an ongoing purge of FBI leadership.
Good. Now we just need the Senate to
FBI
confirm.
leadership. That's our FBI infiltration. But just like we've been laying it out, man, this is part of the fixes. And here comes Kash Patel. Hey, I see the Blue Lantern has arrived. Hello, everybody. Holy shit, Elon is the best ally MAGA could have gotten. Amen to that. Absolutely.
Kash Patel.
They appear to be targeting all the FBI agents who were involved in any of the
Oh no, panicking propagandist Rachel Maddow.
cases brought against January 6th rioters. And to put this in perspective, the January 6th riot cases make up the largest single investigation ever in the history of the Bureau.
Good.
That's not yeah. Oh my god, that means something? It doesn't mean a damn thing. It doesn't. Hello, I'm over here now. No, it doesn't mean a damn thing, because it was run by a corrupt establishment, and it was a witch hunt, and it was a setup, and it was totally blown out of proportion. And now the real investigation is going to start. So if you like real big investigations, Mr. Maddow, you're going to love what comes next.
Good, because it's long overdue to cut the fat.
On another piece of breaking news tonight here in the nation's capital, where the Trump administration has conducted an unprecedented purge at the top
Unprecedented, I think, well called for purge.
levels of the FBI. Unprecedented. Administration
Well
officials have
called
forced
for.
out
Well
all
called
6
for.
of the FBI's most senior executives and multiple heads of various FBI field offices across the country, according to current
Firing the deep state. You're fired, deep state.
and former FBI officials who spoke with NBC News. This is hostile takeover of federal law enforcement. There's
No, it's the president doing his job. And since you worked for a puppet and you were in there only to secure your friend Kajanji shouldn't be on the Supreme Court Brown, since your entire existence was to get in there for the Justice Democrats and make sure that she was put on the Supreme Court, and then you swiftly left right after that happened. Yeah. You really wouldn't know what it's like to work for a real president.
no other way to call it, included the high-profile leader of the Washington, D.C. field office, which was involved in the prosecutions of President Donald Trump. The Department of Justice also fired multiple federal prosecutors who conducted the criminal investigation of January 6 rioters.
Well, I might have to buy a bigger mug.
What's up?
My online store, markdice.com, which, by the way, are available in an 11-ounce, which is like the standard coffee mug size, a 15-ounce, and a 20-ounce. And when
Yeah, if you get a 20-ounce, it comes in like one of those giant drink mugs with a big straw in it. Because I got one of these, my son wanted one of these for Christmas. And I got him one, and it turns out I got him the big container one with the big handle on it, and it's like the big tall one. It's not a coffee mug at all. It's a big drink. So he got that. There we go. Oops, let me put this back up. I'm gonna go like that. And yo, winners, great entrance, man. I like that entrance. Thank you for that, Judge. Let me turn off this very white screen over here. All right, so yeah, that's a little bit of catch up there going on. Dude, here we go. Nice and dark here on outer space. Whether there are no UFOs or aliens, just bright lights of truth shining on, and those are you guys. We're all out here together. We're all out here together. See, the world is on fire, says Daisy Williams. The world is on fired. You're fired. The deep state's on fired. You're fired. Deep state. Oh man. How you been, Daisy? Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh yeah. Oh Rachel. Oh Rachel panic. How is that person still on the air? I don't get that. I really don't. I really don't. Is there anything else I had out there today? Hang on a second. All right, I'm back. Okay. So let me get out of this here. What else we got? We got 30 saying 30 here. I got a bunch of Trump's been doing these Trump's been doing these press conferences on and signing executive orders at the same time, which is really cool. So I'm going to play some of this tomorrow night too. It's crazy how much I truly hate television news. Yeah, I know it is. And you should hate it because it's abusive towards you. Right. And people need to learn how to not just tolerate abuse, but actually to genuinely hate it and oppose it and work to actively destroy it. Because it's part of the cycle of abuse, right? It's part of the cycle of abuse. It continues the cycle of control for the worst amongst us, the global ownership class, the elitist minded, backstabbing, Marxist indoctrinated and proliferating class that's out there. They love that stuff. They love it. And so, interesting topic was talked about today. I'll probably hear more on this tomorrow. Hey, partner Kenny, what's up? How you doing? They talking about wealth, right? And they say most wealth, family wealth, last 3 generations, and because the work ethic declines over those generations because of the wealth, right? That's the idea. Well, that's what this whole concept of the cycle of abuse and cycle of control. How do you maintain power and wealth over generations and generations and generations and break that that whole one generation of a family works really hard, builds up a business, generates a lot of wealth. The second comes along, doesn't work quite as hard, doesn't have the same work ethic. Maybe some of it is just being, brought into it. And the third, benefiting greatly, is even less motivated and less talented. And somehow it falls back into this 3 generation cycle, right? Well, they've overcome this by understanding that they invest their money into these cycles of abuse. They'll break down the future generations and make them more controllable and able to maintain their power and wealth over a long term, over many generations. I think that has something to do with it. I was just thinking about that today. I was like, I wonder how those connect, because for the average person, say Charlie's a pretty good example. Grandma and grandpa come here, they build up a gas station and make lots of money, incredible amounts of money. And through the generations, that talent and that drive is slowly kind of weaned off, right? I think that's pretty close to Charlie, right? That's kind of the story, isn't it? And so then it's going to eventually have to kind of recycle itself if it's able to, right? If there are people that in the future generations aren't so bogged down and held down by the cycle of abuse, which enables the cycle of control for the works amongst us. Now we're taking away their weapons. You see, when you take away their weapons, their cycle of abuse, they use to corrupt the youngest generations, and they use to hold the rest of us down, to create criminality and create chaos and destabilization. Those weapons are necessary to make that cycle happen. When you start to remove the enablement and remove the mechanisms for those cycles, they start to lose their grip. They start to lose their grasp. There, and that's the idea behind solution culture. So we have a long ways to go with that, but we are seeing the starting of this, right? And it doesn't mean that it's going to see its way through to solution culture. It means that we have to have solution culture ready at this point in time to actually take that next step that hasn't ever been done properly, I don't think. At least if it has, it hasn't been effective. But to take the next step to preventative measures, a culture of solutions where we are implementing preventative measures against subversion and things that break down society, like critical theory, right? The critical theory is being taken out of schools, it's being taken out of government, it's being taken out of education and so on, right? But that's right today. That's today. So what happens in, we still have 3 generations, possibly 4, maybe not 4 if we can act fast enough on Generation Alpha, but we have 3 generations or more of people that have been corrupted and subverted by the ideological subversion. So we have to wait that out and hope that a lot of people along the way wake up to the fact that this happened and humble themselves and be able to accept the fact that they've been misled by themselves and by the media and by the establishment sources they were raised to trust and to believe that were, fueling their what they believe is a lot of knowledge about politics in the world. Really, they're kind of living in a manufactured delusion about it because they are only growing from that source, like a bad AI, right? Like an AI that's been mistrained, right? If it's pulling from bad data, it's only going to output the remnants of that bad data, right? If it's pulling from limited data, it can only give you the data that it has. It can only give you responses from the data that it has, right? And that is the condition, that is a tragedy of the first veil, that the people in there are like a poorly trained AI boxed into a narrative and unable to see outside of that box. So when as confident and as sure of themselves as they come across and their ideas, realize they are working with a very limited data set. And that is the delusion that keeps them boxed in and keeps them a useful idiot for the corruption of the globalist establishment that has been ruling over us, most of us, since we were born. Roscoe Treat, I dropped by for a minute. Happy Monday, Winning Reality. Happy Monday to you, Roscoe Treat. I'm glad you came by to say hello. Did you see the Tempid insurrection today at the USAID building in DC? I did hear that. I did hear some things about it. I did not see a Tempid insurrection though, but I did know that we're getting rid of that department because there are a bunch of money laundering attempted insurrection. No, I did not see that today. I do know we're getting rid of that, and like maybe some people are refusing to lose. Won't you tell us more about it? You got something? Drop it to me. I'll play it. We got some time here. We got like 15 minutes. Let's see. Attempted. Scott, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. I didn't watch it, but I saw a headline about employees were locked out of. Yeah, they're locked out because they were getting rid of that very, very bad, unnecessary department. And here's the thing: most people that were working there were remote, and so Elon walked in the front door and basically was like, "Hey, I'm here," and he got right into the computers. They're just sitting out, waiting to be hacked, waiting to be out. Right. Of course, he did it, with proper credentials, and he did it with authority from the president. But their computers were laying out, basically unwatched, unsupervised. Anybody could sneak in there at any time, and hack into them and get information out of them. But yeah, they were doing a lot of nasty things. We're gonna talk a good deal about that tomorrow night because it's a longer story and it deserves more time. But yeah, that is going bye bye, as well as a lot of other bad departments that we have in our government that were created by very corrupt and devious people who I don't have America's best interest in mind, only to rob the place blind as they collapse it into a dystopic globalist reality. Democrats in Congress weren't going to storm the building, and Grok said that no one could enter. Grok. Oh, good. Yeah. Yep, he went in there and found all kinds of stuff. Like they were funneling money out of that department into NGOs that were then funneling it back into the Democratic Party. to oppose Trump, to run candidates, to do things like that. That's just one of the things we're going to find out about this group. Obviously, it's one of those groups that we'd never heard about until today. A lot of us, right? We weren't very familiar with this. Very, very low key group. But those low key groups that are getting government funding and that were created, and then kind of like pushed in the background. We're going to find out. I think a lot of those are doing some of the worst work, and those were kind of some of the essential hideouts of the deep state in terms of, in this case, a lot of money laundering, a lot of bad deals, and millions in NGOs. Yes, millions they were laundering to NGOs. That then would launder it back to them. So, oh yes, let the indictments fly. Let the indictments fly. Wanda E, what is up? It was a shit show in many places. Wanda E, good to see you. How you doing? Hope everybody had a great weekend. See, so they didn't get the chance to wipe the hard drives. Oops. Oh yeah. And not only that, I heard some interesting takes today about Elon taking this is why it's so great to have him on our team. Taking steps to out leakers today, and being very bold about it, being like, if you leak, we're going to know. You can't get around the way that I handle this kind of stuff. So he's going to be also calling out a lot of people that have been illegally leak information, and he's going to set them up, and they're going to expose themselves. That's going to be the beauty of it. And really, there's something they can do about it except for not leak. So if you're out there and you're one of these dumbasses who think that siding with the establishment's a good idea, and you plan on leaking documents and causing harm, just be aware you're going to get caught. All right, you're going to get caught. Nacho Kitty says Alex Jones received some previously classified files that proved agencies were after him. I bet they were. No doubt. Then, he was a very, like I said, for decades, he was a very major voice out there before the next wave of content creators and new media came about. He kind of blazed a trail in that area. So they didn't like the fact that people were turning into him and others instead of their mainstream media propaganda, and that he was coming and calling them out, and that he'd have people like Ron Paul on his show and to promote his campaign and other things like that. And that he backed Trump, that he didn't. They went out against the Clintons. They're really going out after the Clintons was the thing that got them really, really noticed more than anything else. But because they always hold a vendetta. They always are either out to undo their enemies. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced he is acting as the administrator of the USAID, confirming a de facto takeover by the State Department. Yes. Yep, that's right. And you will see that getting winded down after they investigated. I'm pretty sure once she gets in, Pam Bondi will be very interested in this department as well. Secretary of State Marco Rubio also made an appearance in Panama City, Panama. And within hours of being there, Panama canceled their deal with China. Winning. We're winning. Marco's already done a good job. He did a good job. He went down there and got something done. Rubio came in at a time of transition in the GOP. And I know this because this is the Ron Paul days when he made his emergence. And we weren't too happy and didn't really think highly of Marco. But him, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, I'm trying to think of Mike Lee, and some others. We're all kind of part of that same Freedom Caucus class, right? We didn't think he fit in very well. Had some takes, but you have to understand when he came in, the neocons, rhinos were still very much in charge of the GOP, and to outlast, perhaps he had to make some had a learning curve. So he gets a chance right now. So we keep a close eye on what he gets done and what he says. And so far, so good with Marco. Little Marco is doing what he's supposed to do. And so as long as he does that and does the job that Trump hired him to do, and what he should do, what's best for America, he could redeem himself on this arc right now. So we're all about redemption, man. This side isn't about, eternal condemnation like the other side. We're about people waking up, getting with it, making amends, and doing the right thing from here on out. Right? That's the way it works. That's the way. And yes, you have to be trusting, and yes, that can be kind of naive sometimes, especially with bad actors. But bad actors will always unveil themselves eventually, and then you just get rid of them, and then they're out of business. Let's see. Rubio is delegating the authority to someone else, but they haven't said who yet. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Hang on one second. Yeah. Ooh. That. All right. All right. Okay, yeah. So we'll keep an eye on them. No need to go against the team right now. I want everybody to get in and get a chance. If Trump says give him a chance, we give him a chance, right? I can tell you what's great about him is he's not who used to be there. That's the best part, isn't it? Florida Republicans had an establishment candidate for that Senate seat. Rubio ran as the outsider back in the Tea Party era. Yes, exactly. He was part of the Tea Party era, outsider for that seat. And, through a few things, he got a kind of a bad rep. I didn't think very highly of him. I may have, without really digging into it, kind of just gone with it. So that's why I'm like, I feel like I owe him another chance. And if President Trump believes in him, then, I believe in President Trump. So there you have it. And it's so funny how I got a friend that is pretty smart guy, pretty talented guy, for the most part, still boxed into the first veil narrative, pretty much, right? But it's been sending me messages lately saying, he doesn't like Trump. He's got this TDS thing about him as a person, which, obviously is this taking a knee to the slander campaigns of very wicked people. But he thinks he's kicking butt. So that's hopeful, right? So it's kind of like, okay, well, if you want to have that negative opinion of them because, you listen to what other people tell you and you believe your lying eyes when you watch establishment media, that's fine. As long as you're recognizing he's doing good work. I think for a lot of people, the good work, even if they never come around on liking Trump, and the good work will be, the platform by which the next person can get in who isn't Trump, and they can start over again, right? And then maybe by then they'll have realized that they were subverted by propaganda, and that their opinions really aren't their own, and they've been manufactured to dislike this person who in all rights has just been a pretty good person most of his life and been very generous and very kind to others. And not only that, but has produced a phenomenal family full of very well-adjusted, kind children who are successful and morally based. So, I wouldn't have mentioned to that guy that Trump's a much better father than he is right now. But, I thought of it like, as long as they see the work he's doing is good, I don't give a shit if you want to, think that he's something that you're not already, go for it. Just recognize the policies and get on the good side. Stay away from that bullshit from the establishment, and we'll be all right. Not everybody's going to make it, and everybody's going to get the light turned on for them. And that's okay, because we got a lot of lights turned on right here, in this group and many other groups that are out there right now. There's a lot of people that come around. There's Captain Kern. How you doing, Captain Kern? Make sure you say thank you to Shelly for gifting you that awesome membership earlier. Did anybody else here get one? Oh, I know I saw your name pop up, so you got one. So there you go. So if you check your email later on, you might see you got one from Shelly. There she's right there. And welcome to the show. We got a few more minutes here left in the kickoff show. Tonight, again, we're burning through. We got a couple more episodes left of Government Gangsters, and then we'll have to talk about our next books. Bright Light. Right now, the front runner is the Warren Warriors, behind the betrayal of the men who keep us free. and propaganda wars, how the global elite control what you think, see, and feel. That's by Glenn Beck. The previous is by Pete Hegseth. When you talk about listen to the intros, I need to pick one more. I usually like to get 3 out there. Any suggestions from the crowd? Now's your time to make them. And this is the show to make them on. So if you have suggestions about books from people that have, here's the thing. Need to be nonfiction. They need to be solution oriented. So unveiling an issue that is pertinent to unrigging the game, right? Because that's the name of the show. So we unrig the game by understanding how it's rigged, right? And then we create solutions that remove the enablement and remove the mechanisms for corruption, right? Through understanding how they rigged the game, because they wouldn't be winning if they wouldn't have won, and they wouldn't have been in control of and dominating us and creating their own wealth and power if they hadn't rigged the game, because their ideas are that bad. They had to rig the game in order to get to where they're at. And the game they're playing is a very devious, very abusive game that doesn't just affect you and me, but affects generations of our friends and family. So, hello, Shinagram. How you doing? Thanks for being here. All right. So yeah. So that's the things. It has to, all of our books we've read have to do with root cause issues, go through great explanations of game rigging, and whether it be like deep history, like big intel, or whether it be like what's going on currently in the globalist realm, like control oligarchs, or what is going on in the deep state of our own government. All of these expose game rigging, and then all these authors have offered their own takes on solutions that we can examine for ourselves. And that's that. And it's just getting back to reading books, right? Getting back to reading books. Reading is fundamental, in case you hadn't heard. And in that, doing it together, right? Doing it as a group, spending our time where a lot of us spend our time, we're all very much stream oriented, video oriented people. If you're here, that's what you're about, in some level. But actually spending some of that time getting back to reading, I think it's a good thing. And this is our 5th book, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud that we've together read 5 books this year. I mean, I can't tell you the last time I did that, and maybe for a lot of you it's the same. So I'm glad that we are doing this together, and all of our friends over on Rumble help making it happen over there on Rumble. Thank you so much for Rumble. Man, you guys, look at that. 7 likes already. Thank you so much. Rumble is kicking butt tonight. Guys, that's what gets us out there. And I do have to say, I have to, guys, Rumble, I have to run StreamYards at 720. And it makes my image over there a little bit cloudy. It doesn't seem as sharp over there. And I apologize, because I think Rumble wants you to run at 1080, and I don't blame them, because things look really good when you run at 1080 over there. But a lot of lag happens when I do that, and it's StreamYards. And one of my goals for this year, and we're just getting started, is to figure out, what platform is going to be best moving forward as far as streaming goes. If I can hang on to it. That's another thing, is that, I have a personal life too here. And, as much as I enjoy doing what I do here with you guys every week, and it's become a big part of my life, and we've gone a long ways together. Sometimes in my real world life, if things don't, go a certain way, because I contract, and I have to keep on that constantly. And if I get big gaps of time and stuff like that, and this starts to get in the way of making my day in and day out life happen, that's the most important thing to me. I could come a time where I have to either take a break from this or set it aside. So just FYI, that's about the only way I'm not going to show up for you, is if that it's between this and my home and my life, my life. If this gets in the way somehow, I'm finding that it's getting in the way, then I'll have to set it aside. Maybe permanent, maybe for a temporary time, or maybe permanently. It just depends. But I'll give you my best while I'm here. And unless this channel becomes a primary source, which I don't think is possible. I don't know. You never know. It could take off, but if it does, then that's what I would, you'll see like a whole next level of winning reality here. But as it stands now, it's an important thing that I do, but it's secondary to earning a living in the real world and doing the things that enables me to do, which is the most important things in my life, which is to be the provider that I need to be for my family. So that's that. And just a FYI on that. And guys, it's just about that time. Let me do one more thing here. All right, here we go. I'm back. All right, had to take care of that real quick. We're and same with Shelly, right? There we go. So guys, oh yeah, I can't forget something this important. I haven't even gotten this ready yet, man. Look at me. Look at me. Okay, cool. That's right. I got to get this link in the description to Rumble, and I got to get this link over here on copy. All right, there we go. Let me copy this link over here. All right, so the link to Rumble and X are now saved in the description. And I am now going to post these in the chat. I almost forgot. Well, how embarrassing would that be? I've only done it a million times, right? There we go. And boom. Off and rolling there. It is pinned in the chat and pinned and also saved in the description. So if you want to, you can now follow us over. You can now follow the YouTube Kickoff Show. You can follow us over to Rumble or X. I suggest Rumble if you want to chat with the same group that's here, usually in Rumble. And we will begin our reading of chapters 14 and 15 of part 4, The Department of Defense of Government Gangsters by Kash Patel. Okay, let me stop sharing that. There we go. Okay. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here for the Kickoff Show. You make this Kickoff Show happen. And I'd like to thank everybody who's rewatching, who stuck around for the Kickoff Show and just enjoyed some time with us. I hope that you will be encouraged to come join us for a Kickoff Show and hang out with this crowd. You've seen a lot of their names pop up on the screen and get to know us. We want to get to know you. The bigger the family, the more we got going on. And believe me, I got a lot of really cool folks for you to meet. So come meet us, hang out with us, come hang out where a reality-based truth is a real thing. And we have it almost every night of the week, pretty much. We're kind of close, at least 5 times. But anyways, let's get on to getting, let me see. I need to get to this screen here. And it's time to head on over to Rumble, guys. Okay, follow that link. Be there. Remember when you show up to hit the thumbs up button and say hello in the chat so I know you're there and we can get on and start with that reading, all right? And then after we're done reading, we have some bonus content for you at the end, usually featuring Kash Patel or something like it. We'll see what I have for you tonight. But anyway, we're going to have a good, nice read tonight. So I hope you will enjoy us for that. And that's all I got to say about that. The Kickoff Show is now officially over. I'll see you guys over on Rumble and YouTube. Until next time, later.
And everyone's tensed up for a Rumble.